Hello, everyone. Hope you are great. Hope you are safe. Hope to enjoy this webinar with an amazing guest who is.
Ta-da-da-da. Leontien Homulle.
Bum.
We are here. We are live. Good evening, everybody. I'm Leontien.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm super happy to be here. And it's special. And maybe it's good that I introduce myself. I'm Leontien Homulle. I'm a Dutch lady and living in Italy since 30 years. I have 3 grown-up children. We're living in different countries. And I'm a confidence coach. And I love helping women, especially women of a certain age, so 35 plus, to find their purpose in life or create a new purpose and help them achieve their goals by chunking down the goals by a step-to-step plan, by offering the tools. So that's what we are going to talk about tonight, a little bit, I think, right?
Perfect. I changed the background because I had the Greek titles, so
Okay. Didn't see that.
that makes sense. Okay, that's very good because I think a few years back I heard something very, very, very awesome. Any human being who has no purpose in their life, it's dead.
I agree, because I think it makes your life worth living if you have a goal to work towards, and it doesn't need to be something super big. It's just which makes you happy to get out of bed in the morning and say, well, yeah, it's a new day. It could be as simple as a walk through the woods or just through your neighborhood, but that you enjoy living your life. And what I have noticed in especially with people from 45 plus, especially I don't like the word the empty nesters, but there are a lot of women of this age, they're out of balance because they have been taking care of their families, maybe part-time job, full-time job, and they're just running around, and then the kids go away. They have been living also very much through their kids with all the contacts in the outside world. And then it's, okay, and now what? And having lived a life like that for many years, it's also difficult to know what you as a person really like. And especially, I think, in these times, which we're right in now with the quarantine, with the lockdowns, with all the uncertainties, probably many people were searching for something or had a purpose and think, now what? So, I agree with you. It's really important.
Do you think that it's possible to find someone the purpose those days?
Yeah, absolutely. I am convinced that everyone has something special in herself. And it's often also if you ask the right questions to yourself, you can find it. Or it's it also can be, if you ask people around, what do you think is special about me? Because we all have a little bit of a close view of ourselves. And maybe with a little help, maybe with some questions, maybe talking with friends, or finding out for yourself what really makes you enthusiastic. What do you really like to do? And
Let me ask some questions because I have to ask a lot of questions. So I like that. I love ask because this gives me opportunity to learn, understand, and to be richer.
And that's what I liked about this way of working, that we both get richer from each other. And also the people who are listening in, I hope they take away something for themselves. And it's that's nice about sharing what you're doing. Because as a coach, what we were talking about before we went live, the one-to-one can also be a kind of lonely, because it's just you and the other person, and there's so much to share and to learn from the other persons. I don't know about you, but I learn a lot from my clients as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Actually, I hope for my clients to learn as I learn from them.
yeah.
It's yeah. Okay. So, why did you choose to be confident coach?
Because I think many people think they're not confident, and they think they're not confident in their whole life. And if you're gonna analyze it, there are many parts of their life they're really confident in, and you need confidence to make your next step. And probably confidence is a huge word. You can call it life coaching, you could call it whatever you want, but very often people say also out loud from, oh no, I would love to do that, but I don't have the confidence, or I'm not brave enough, or that's not possible for me. And I don't think that's true. I think everybody can create the way to achieve something. And I don't say it's easy, but you can train yourself with little steps, and to get more confidence. And you can start in a field of your life which are a little bit more faith that you can make it, and then you can move on to more difficult steps. And I love to create this path with people, and that they arrive at a point and say, I did it. I was afraid, but I did it anyhow, and it wasn't that bad, and I enjoyed it. Or yeah. And
Yeah.
talking about clients, sometimes it's as simple as making a phone call, and that they're so afraid to make the phone call, and then they do it and they say, okay, nothing bad happens, it's just okay. And yeah, so that's why I choose this.
You said they think that they don't have confidence. You didn't say they are not confident. So, do you think that people doesn't think that they are confident? In essence, they are confident, but they don't know that they are confident.
Yeah, because probably if you look back together with the person and you say, but tell me a moment in your life where you were confident, and they say, no, I have never been confident. And then they have made a trip by themselves, or they achieved something, or they did something special, and they see it as a part of their life. This is normal that they did it. But you need, for other people, that's super scary what they have done. And like that, you can show them from, okay, there is confidence in you. And I'm also very much convinced that all of us are very brave to talk negatively to ourselves, and that we are very critic of ourselves. And that takes away your confidence. It's about fun, the what if questions. And yeah, so I think we all can be confident.
From your personal experience, where do you think that this criticism from ourselves comes from?
There are a lot of limited beliefs, and they can come from anywhere. They come from, and maybe you're very critic of other people and think that everybody is the same. Maybe it's something from your childhood, how you've been raised, what your parents told you, what your teachers told you. Maybe an experience with friends or with lovers. And it could be, it can come from so many different ways, but it is something that we started to believe that it's true. It has become our truth, and probably it isn't the truth if you ask other people. But yeah, that's what is in our minds, and that's the most difficult thing to change.
Do you coach people around the world, or do you focus to Italy women actually?
No, actually, I hardly coach in Italy. It's more online. I started out mostly in the UK,
Okay.
and now I have clients in it's now the online world, Australia, the US, and it's more the English speaking persons, women. So it's a kind of broad audience, but it doesn't matter because we're in the end we're all human and we all have not the same problems, but we all want to find a solution.
That's the next question. I want to ask you, do you see any difference between the people who lives in the different countries, or all these people have the same thoughts, challenges, faces, perspectives, less or more are the same?
I think it's more from where the problem comes from than the country they're in. And in the end, I think confidence has very much to do that you have anxiety or are afraid to do the next step. And that's in universal. That doesn't make any difference if you're from which country you are. It's the being afraid to do the next step. Not sure if you are really able. That doesn't matter where you live or where you come from. It doesn't even matter the age, but in a certain point, it's okay. There's a lot out there for. I think people, women from a certain age, they're not that much used to do things online, ask for help, and that's why I pointed out to that group of women. And it's also my own experience, my own age, which is closer to them.
At that point, I want to share something with the audience, because most of the times, every time that I coach someone, they believe that their issue is something unique. No one else faced something same with him, something like that. So I think that what you said before, it's very valuable, because if someone gets this, it's very easier to overcome because if you think that, oh, my problem is unique, you can't
Yeah.
understand me. There's no other in this world. That's my problem.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Yeah, and it's also what you are experiencing is always the heaviest stuff because it's yours. But it's good to know it's not unique, and that's our we have to point it out and we have to explain or give examples that it's unique for them because they're living it their first time in their lives, and for them it's really a big problem. But to know that other people have overcome it and that it's possible to resolve it, that helps.
I was one of these guys. I thought that no one experiences challenges like me. God gives me cares to me. So the most thing that I got from the seminars, like Robbins and other experts, it was something like that. I saw lots of people who are the same situation with me, and some of them they overcome it. So I can't do that.
Yeah, and what I learned on those seminars that there are so many amazing stories out there, and so many people have had those amazing suffering as well, and they overcame it and they have overcome it, and it's really amazing what people can overcome and how they can react to things. And very often it's not really that difficult. It's just to know the right steps and to know the right questions to ask and to know especially the right focus. And I think that's especially also, I don't know if that's the same for you, but I'm feeling a lot of negativity around me in this moment. People are focusing on the bad news, and they're focusing on the uncertainty and what's happening, and life is out of control. And just with a little change of focus, you can make also this situation better in the moment, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows how it's going to end. But at least there's always something positive in every situation. And if you search for that, that helps you a lot. That's how I'm thinking. What keeps me positive.
Do you want to share some questions or some ways in order to make some constructive questions to our mind in order to change a little bit our focus?
For example, the why me question. Why does it always happens to me? And why is my life so difficult? If you change your question to what is positive in this situation, or what can I do to change the situation, or what is possible to okay, this is the negative part, but what can I learn from it? And that changed the question. I made a free training about questions, and because it's so easy to ask the wrong questions, to use the wrong words. It's a very, very simple example for the situation now is from, are you stuck at home or are you safe at home? And that changed completely the energy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what I realized is the first thing that we have to do is to change the why with what.
Yeah.
And the second is to shift our focus to the solution.
Absolutely.
Not the problem.
Yeah.
I think that Barreto is from Italy.
Who?
Barreto. There is Barreto law.
80-20 rule. Yeah. He's from Italy.
From Italy, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so very true. But that's kind of different in the sense from, if you want to achieve your goals, to chunk it down, do some simple steps, and then the rest will follow. And and that's we very often we see the things as a huge mountain which is so difficult to climb, and then when you just take step by step, then the mountain comes lower, and in the end it disappears, and you arrive at the other part of the mountain, and then you're there.
But the thing is, how someone can remember to themselves when they are experienced and they are in the very hard situation to do the right question themselves. Because now I think that everyone gets this. The thing is, the difficult time, when they are in this situation, how can remind themselves that, oh, I have to change the question. I have to make it with another way.
First, you have to be aware how you're talking to yourself and what questions are you asking yourself. And it depends, I think, where the person is in his life. Because if you have never done anything about personal development and you're in this black hole and you don't know anything, how do you know that you can change? There is a lot of free information on the internet. But you have to have the mindset to say, okay, I want to change. And I think it's a difficult question, because if you're really not into self-development, not into reading, not into positive mindset, which all by itself won't change your whole life, and you're just kind of depressed or kind of not knowing how to tackle the situation, then you won't ask yourself other questions because you don't know that it will help you. So there, it's where we come in, or the free information on the internet. I love to talk about those things on my Facebook, and also to create freebies to say, okay, it's not that difficult. Try it. But you have to have someone who's telling you that's possible.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, do you have YouTube channel?
No,
No.
not
Okay.
yet.
Do you do when are you going to make one?
Well, I will be very honest here. Maybe it seems that I'm easy in talking, but it is my very first live, because I was always holding myself back. So thanks to you.
You
And I've done some videos, and I should do more. But I think I will start out with little lives on my Facebook page and little videos there before I start a whole YouTube channel.
okay? Could you share your Facebook page?
Yeah, that is Leontien Homulle, coaching Leontien Homulle.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So follow her.
Sorry?
I talk to the audience to follow you.
Okay, yeah. Yes,
and,
please.
and
More than happy.
YouTube channel.
Okay, that will be next step.
That's promise.
Okay.
Thank you, because you have to share lots of cool stuff, and I think that YouTube is one of the best ways to do that, to share all knowledge with people, because there are lots of people who are looking to improve their confidence. For me, it's a fundamental. Regardless how much you know, regardless how big is your willingness to get something, if you are not confident, it's futile. You're going to fail.
Yeah, that's true. And it's not that difficult to become confident. It's not a very huge deal from, oh no, I will never be able. And I think it's a kind of overrated word as well. We make it maybe too heavy, and it's possible for everybody to become confident, even for the most shyest person. And yeah, is my message. So don't hold yourself back if you think you're not confident. Find a way to become more confident. And we are here to help to get there. And that could be a YouTube channel where I talk a little bit more about how to do steps to become more confident.
Yes, actually, we can do one more, two more, three more videos, something like that. It's my pleasure.
Oh, me too. No, I love to. Yeah, as long as we can help people and other persons to just one little step. I think that's the important part. That I'm a very much. I don't know. Do you know the book Slight Edge?
Slight Edge
From Jeff Olson. It's the essence.
In Greek, I think so.
The essence of the book is that it's just one little tiny step a day really, really change your life. And that is achievable for everybody. If you think from, okay, I feel so not confident, and next week I have to speak in public, how I'm going to get there, that will be hard. But if you say from, okay, I want to be more confident in my life, and how can I do that? It's just a little tiny step a day, and you will get there. And that makes it much easier. But I think it's in the human nature that if it's too difficult, that you won't even try. And if it makes it easy, then it becomes a new habit. It becomes a new you.
Saying do tiny steps. What do you mean? For example, let's say today is Monday. Monday. tomorrow, Tuesday, I have to go 10 meters far away from my home. 2 days from now, 20 meters. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the simple understanding example from the book is if you um, eat something bad today, it won't hurt your life. If you do it every day, in 10 years' time, you will be obese or you will have problems with your health. And it's the same. Also, another simple example is if you never ever have read a book about self-development, don't buy the book and think I have to read it all at once. Do just one chapter, 10 pages a day, every day, and 10 pages. That's 10 minutes a day. But if you do that in a month's time, you have read 1 or 2 books. And that's achievable for everybody. If you have time, if you don't have time. For as example, I have my morning rituals. And before I get out of bed, I read. I put my alarm an hour earlier. And then I have read my 10 pages a day. And I've read so many books in the last couple of years that way. And I'm never on the couch with a book because then I fall asleep. But yeah, so little tiny steps will bring huge results.
Actually, let's give me a couple of seconds to speak to the audience. If you want to ask something to Leontien, do I say it right? Leontien?
Yes.
Okay. Please write down on the comments.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to answer your questions.
Tiny steps. So the secret is consistency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Creating a new habit. And yeah, that becomes automatically that it's something that you really like to do. Because if you like to do something, then it's not difficult to keep going.
How many days do we need in order to create a new habit? Some say we need 60 days. Other theories say 21 days, 40 days.
Do you know?
Who knows?
I think that's so depending from person to person. I have no idea, sincerely. No, can't answer that one.
So the suggestion is repeat it until you make it a habit.
I think it depends also very much if you like what you're doing, and then it's easy. And if it's kind of that you really have to force yourself to do it, then it will take a little bit longer. But if the really smart people haven't found the answer yet, I won't tell you 30 days or 60 days. I don't know.
Actually, I think that before you make something a habit, it's a little bit difficult to like it. It's the zone that you hate everything. You hate your decision to start making a new habit. You might hate yourself or your coach that suggests you to make a new habit.
Yeah, it probably depends also there because, for example, if you like to read but you never have time, and then you find this way to read just 10 pages a day, then you say, oh, that's nice. And but it's more if you have to change some really bad habits of yours into something healthier or better, or it's like going to the gym. That I think it depends how difficult it is on your why. If your why is big enough, you can change everything. And finding your why you do something that is not always easy because very often we stay at the superficial and we stay in our heads why we want something. But if you just go deeper and deeper, and there is this method with the 7 questions to ask, and you feel it inside of you, and your why is really touching your emotional part, then it's not difficult to change your habits.
I have a very good question.
Okay.
Sometimes we might know our why, but it's a little bit difficult to connect with emotionally with this why. It's very conceptual.
Yeah.
I want to do this because these are my whys, but I don't feel emotions.
No, and then it's nice to go deeper and deeper and deeper with your questions, because, for example, you say, I want to become financial free. Okay, why? Because it sounds like something really good for me. Because I don't have to work anymore, or I can travel, and then you keep asking and asking and asking, and then maybe it's something because I don't want my kids to suffer, or because I want to retire my parents, or you get deeper and deeper in your emotional sensations. And I think it's not easy to do it all by yourself, to ask the questions, because when you're just asking yourself the why you want it, then it's easy to stay up here. But if you do it with someone else, and it can be a coach, but it can also be your partner or a good friend, then probably you make the switch from the mind to the heart, to the emotions. And when you touch that, then you have your real why.
What's the most amazing, exciting story that you have met in your professional life? Transformation, something.
There's so many. Um, I think the most amazing stories are the ones where you really see the change in the people. And when you really see that aha moment from, okay, now I know what to do, or I did it and it felt so good. And I think the wonder is in this, also here in the small things, that it's not that someone went from being totally broke to completely millionaire in a week. I don't believe in those things. It's really, really the small changes that they say, I wake up happy now, or it makes me feel good. And that's what I really like about what I'm doing, and about helping people. Because you can have the most amazing story, but if it doesn't stuck with the person, then it's just a story. And I really like to work towards real changes and solutions.
Do your clients make you the follow questions? Okay, now I'm very good, thank you very much, but I doubt, can I be in that mode in 10 days from now, 10 months from now?
That's what we were talking about before. That's why I want to create a sort of membership, subscription, or community. I don't know yet how I will call it, but to say from, okay, in what you're saying in the coaching, you're all high, and say from, okay, I completely understand it. Then life gets in the way, something little or big happens, and then you're completely back to where you were. I think coaching is a kind of jumpstart, and then you need the maintenance of what you've learned. And I think with a weekly hour of power call, or a community, group coaching, to keep that feeling, that is so important. Because my experience is, for myself and also for my clients, is talking about a course of Anthony Robbins. You get out of the course and you're really from, okay, I'm going to change my life, and I know everything, and I'm going to do it. And then little by little, you look back and say, I came back more enthusiastic, and I lost it a little bit. I should read my notes, or I should. And it's kind of difficult to keep going by yourself. And I love to create a community where it's not me who's teaching, but that we help each other, because we all have our experiences. And like we said in the beginning, it's so great to learn from your clients. And if the clients can learn from each other, and if we can just facilitate a group, a community like that, I think that's the perfect way to combine coaching and really achieving results, to have an accountability. I don't know about you, but I am in a couple of accountability groups, and they're just so wonderful. And it's so great to be part of it, and it's so stimulating. And I think many people need to be held accountable. It's kind of in the human nature to say, well, no, I don't want to show up that I haven't done it. So
Yeah, it's normal, because you know what? Let's say that I experience some difficulties and I want to change them. Okay, fine. And I go to the coach or the seminar, and everything transforms in my life. Okay, fine. But after that, I'm going to the same job. My friends are saying, my wife, children, everything is same. So everything is training. If I spend 24 hours with doing the same things as the past, then it's too normal to come back to the previous situation. So I deeply believe that we have to, when we decide to transform our lives, one of the most crucial things that we have to do is to connect with people like the people that we want to be, open-minded people.
yeah, it's like the famous saying, you become like the 5 people you're surrounding yourself
Yeah,
with. And that's not always easy in your daily life, because if you start changing something, you still have to go back to your job. Then you're surrounded with the people you were surrounded with yesterday and the day before. But in such a group, in such a community, you are with like-minded people. And it could be from, okay, it's only online, but it's online, but you have an interaction. There will be Zoom, you can create your own groups in it. There will be feedback forth and back on the Facebook community group. And then you start surrounding yourself with the right people, and everybody will encounter the same problems. So you can share also, how did you resolve it? Probably, maybe your partner doesn't like that you're changing because he's scared. Or maybe because you are changing, the people around you are changing. And that is also, you can do very much also for the people around you. And the other day I was reading a book, and her husband was from the Indian Americans, and I loved it. They have this saying, if they change something, if they do something, that they have to think how it will affect 7 generations behind you. And if you start thinking about just a little tiny change you make, and the first, second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh generation will be influenced by it, then it's not anymore about yourself. Then it's really about something bigger than yourself. And that keeps you going as well.
yeah.
I really was like, sometimes something resonates with you, and say, wow, that is a nice mindset. It's really special.
Let me say hello to Laura. Laura says, accountability is so important to long-term success. Yeah, I
Sorry?
think Laura writes a comment.
Yeah.
Love this. Thank you, Laura. This is, I put it on the screen.
Okay. Thank you. I have to
And
put my glasses on.
yes,
Yeah.
accountability is so important to long-term success. I
Yeah.
think that's the secret. Consistency, because success is not an event, it's a process. You have to be consistent every day, every day, every day, every
Yeah.
day.
And also enjoy what you're doing before you get there.
Yes,
Then make your journey nice and interesting, because you won't wake up and the change is there. You have to work on it, but you can see it as something which is difficult, or you can see it as something which brings you closer to where you want to be. And yeah, I agree with Laura. Thanks for coming in, Laura.
Laura, whatever you want, please feel free to ask, write your comments, your thoughts, whatever it is. Okay, so why did you choose to work just with women?
Because they're very close to my heart, and for me it all started that I was in a situation that I completely depended on my husband. I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. I did some odd jobs, part-time jobs, but there was never enough income to support my family if something happens with my husband. And my husband is a dentist, and we're depending on his 2 hands. If something simple happens to those hands, the whole picture will fall down. Then I didn't know how to change that. And then I read a book, and it was the book Rich Women of Kim Kiyosaki, and that completely changed my life. She explained how we women can take charge of our life. And for me, that was such an eye-opener that I want to share this with other women. And also because we women are very vulnerable. If you look at elder people who live in poverty, 80% are women. And of those 80%, I think it's an amazing 70% weren't poor when they were still in their marriage or in their early years. So that's so scary. And that was the first, I first wanted to concentrate on the financial part. So be sure to take charge of your life. But I'm not a financial expert. And I think it's not only about money, it's about having this purpose in your life and be in charge of your own life, have the satisfaction for yourself. And then you become happy and with yourself and what you are doing. And then you can spread your happiness back to your family, back to the people around you. But I think especially women 45 plus, 50, 60, they're not used to really take a lot of time out for themselves. And that's what I would like to help them with and to support them in, and also to create this nice environment to be together and to share. So that's the reason for women.
One more hot question.
Yes. I'm all in.
Let's say that you have a woman who is in a relationship in a marriage, and her husband is violent on her. They have 2 children. She doesn't work because she raises up their children, and she wants to divorce. Let's make divorce. And she lives in a country with economical crisis. Do you have some ideas?
I think in that case, it's not me who's the right person to help her, but I think there are people specialized in marriage counseling and know much more than I do how she can get out of a relationship like that and what kind of help there's possible. What I could do or could say, find something which is finding yourself your superpower. And probably, maybe she's not working right now, but when she gets out of this marriage, maybe she can or create something for herself, or she has something to offer. And I could help her in creating an online business if that's what she would like, or help her set up their new life. But to talk about from, okay, those are your possibilities, this is what you can do, this is where you can get help, that's not my expertise. I can help her, bring her the right person in her life.
Okay. Laura says, absolutely agree. Sounds a good book too. Laura, where are you from? She says about the book that you mentioned before.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. One more question. You focus on women who are approximately 40 years plus. Okay, nice. Do you focus just to increase their confidence, or this is just the foundation?
It is the foundation. I focus more on helping to find a new purpose in life when there is a life-changing experience. It could be a divorce, it could be retirement, it could be the kids who go away, and then create together a new goal in their life and a plan step by step how to achieve it, and offering the tools how to get there. And to be able to implement the tools, you need confidence as well. But it's not, the confidence is the base, but what I really makes me enthusiastic and passionate to create something new in their lives and work together to achieve it.
How does someone can realize that they are confident?
That is for every person different. And that's the first question when they start coaching is, how will you know? How will a confident you look like? Because for everybody it's different what confidence means to them. So when we start coaching, there is this list of questions. There is this benchmark from, okay, we start from here. Where are you now? Where would you like to go? On which area in your life as well? And then together we work towards it, and we have the in-between checks to see if we're on the right track or if you have to tweak and change something. And it's for you and for me, being confident is different. For someone, it could be, wow, she's on a live video, she must be super confident. And for me, it could be something completely different. So there's not one word to say from, okay, if you are there, then you can say you have your diploma. Yes, I graduated, I'm confident now. That's no.
Have you ever met someone who has no clue about what confidence is?
Yeah, but then it's about insecurity. That confidence is a word. You can feel very insecure. You can feel very scared. You can have anxiety, or just not being able to do another step. So, yeah, that's possible.
Okay. And what if someone has never experienced confidence?
Everybody has experienced confidence. It's only to find it together. In what part you have been confident in your life?
So you believe that it's that someday everyone has experiences with some confidence.
Yeah, it can be something very, very, very small, but yeah, I think everybody with confidence has asked for to, it's a super simple, stupid example, but with confidence you can order your meal in a restaurant, or you can order your bread in the shop, or yeah. So also there you can bring it down to very, very small things in your life which you have done with confidence. Maybe you put your makeup on with confidence because you know how to do it. And so it's important to show people who think that they're not confident at all, that they just don't know anything about it and that they're helpless, to find together from, okay, but if you do that, is it difficult for you, or is it automatic? Do you do it with confidence because it's so normal for you?
Okay, Laura from UK.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any top tips? Be careful. Top tips, not just tips. We need top tips on how to feel more confident. Very good question. I love that.
Yeah, I
Very
have
good question.
five top tips.
Yeah.
And that is, it's about ask yourself different questions. Be careful of how you talk to yourself.
Just a moment to write it as well.
Okay.
Top tips to improve your, to increase your confidence. One, ask.
It starts with a different mindset, with believing that it's possible. So I would start with a different, better, positive mindset. So that's asking yourself different questions.
Ask yourself different, because some people questions. Okay.
Be
Second,
careful how you talk. So transformational language. Instead, what I said before as an example, instead of being stuck at home, we are safe at home.
to talk to yourself. Yes.
Create a healthy habit to start your day in a positive way. That can be a meditation, that can be journaling, that can be reading, it can be yoga, it can be all together, it can be, especially now that we are all safe at home, probably we have more time, we don't have to commute, so you can start to create a morning ritual. And if you set yourself up for a nice start, don't start with watching the news and feed your mind with negativity. Just start with something which really gives you a positive boost. So that's be very careful how you feed your mind, what you put into it. That comes back a little bit to starting your day, but also during the day, who are you listening to? Are the naysayers, or are you looking for positive people?
So I be careful how to feed our mind, your mind. Yeah. 5. One more.
5.
If you have more, if you don't have it, 5. Because sometimes it's easier.
I just did a free training about it, and the 5th one is is going. I don't remember it. Well,
Okay.
I will tell you later, or
Okay.
I can tell you immediately if you just give me just 1 second, but then I have to go away, so better not. But
that's such a good point. We talk to ourselves so negatively sometimes. But the question, Laura, is why do we choose to talk to ourselves like that? Because if we think about it, if the others talk to us as we talk to ourselves, then What do you think that it will
That is
happen?
so true, Laura. It's very often if you ask the question, would you tell your best friend the same things? You wouldn't do that. And there's this other book, and she was saying it's my crazy tenant in my attic in my brain. And can you imagine that you put her on the couch beside you, and she keeps on saying the things you're saying to yourself in your mind? Then you should throw her out of the house within a half a minute. You should really, you wouldn't accept it. I don't know why we're doing it, but if we're not the only ones, and it is a strange human part, and I think we are not even aware what we are doing. And I think the first step is become aware that you're doing it, and then you can change.
Yeah. Actually, if we think about it, it's insane. We complain to others how to behave to us, and we behave to ourselves as the worst person in the world.
Yeah,
It's crazy if we think about that.
we are such a huge critics of ourselves. And I don't have an answer why it is so common in so many people. The only answer is that it's possible to change, and it is difficult because it's so present in our minds, but it's absolutely not impossible. And I think the very first big step is become aware how you're talking to yourself. And the easiest way to become aware is to ask yourself every once in a while, okay, should you tell that your best friend or whoever the same things? And you probably won't.
Actually, also we have to think if what we say to ourselves is true or not.
Yeah,
Because the second thing is we talk to ourselves with the worst way, but out of that, we believe what we say to ourselves.
yeah, we're absolutely convinced.
You're very welcome, Laura. Laura says, thanks for sharing some good advice.
No, thanks for being here, Laura, and for giving some feedback. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So, Leontien, before we finish this no webinar, conversation,
Yeah.
um, what would you suggest? What would you want to say to share with us? Please make a strong close.
I would say be
Sorry,
nice.
before you say that, Laura asks, do you have any advice for people who need validation from others to improve their self-esteem?
Yeah, that you have to find it in yourself, that you don't need the approval of others. And that's where you can work on. And because if you depend always on other people, it will be so hard to be happy or to be satisfied with yourself. And I think it has to do also with the critical part of yourself, that you need approval from others. And if you can find a way to accept that what you're doing is the right thing, what you're doing, and you're where you are because you're on your way to something, you're learning, and you're open to something, then it's it is important not to depend on what others think of you, but to be happy how you are as you are, and to be nice to yourself. And that was my strong statement to close this nice talk with you. It's from be nice and be lovely to yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself, and be patient, because we are all learning and we are all doing the best we can very often. And awareness that it's possible that you can change or you can achieve it, and that you don't need to do huge steps, just little by little, and you will get there. That's what I would like to
And
say.
then I think that here takes place the confidence, because the need to have validation from others for me, it's a signal of lack of confidence. Because if
Yeah,
I believe myself, I don't need for others validation. Because at the end of the day, this is my life. And it's better to regret for my opinions, my mistakes, than to regret for others. Because this is my life.
sure, and I agree. But I think it's also the a little bit human, the human needs, the significance as one of the 6 human needs, that we all like compliments. We all like to hear that you're doing the things right, and it makes you feel good as well. Even if you're super convinced that you've done it well, it's still nice to hear from other people from, oh, I like what you did, or you can be proud of what you've been doing. So it's also something we like to hear. But as long as it's not as long as we don't depend on it, then it's different. And I agree with you that it's your life and it's your way. And if we stop to feel the need to explain to others why we're doing things and what we are doing, but just do it because it is okay for you, that makes your life a little bit easier.
So it was very good point that everyone wants to feel significant. But saying that, I think that it's very important to set a distinction.
Yeah,
Who are going the people that we are looking for this significant?
that's a whole new chapter you're
Yeah.
opening up here. Probably we could do another live like this and talk about the 6 human needs and why people need them and how you can overcome them and how you can switch them. And I think if we could open it up now, then we're still here at 10 o'clock tonight. Then we could do it. I have time, but I don't know if the people were listening, that they thought from we were closing down and then we're opening up.
Thank you. Laura says, thanks so much. This was such a good session. Look forward to hear you from you. Thank you very much, Laura, for being
Thank
here.
you, Laura. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
like it as well. I love this talk. It's just great.
It was amazing. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, Leontien, thank you very much for being here as well. It
Yeah,
was
and the only thing I want to say, the fifth thing,
okay.
I will put it on my Facebook because it's really escaping. I just don't get it. My excuse and my apologizes, but it will come.
Okay, it's fine.
Manu, thank you so much for having me. I had a good time. I really appreciate it. And if you want to go deeper or open up another argument, whenever you want, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to come back on
Yes.
your YouTube channel, and then little by little I will arrive at mine.
So, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice night in Italy. Now it's 10 o'clock, I think so, or 9.
9.
1 hour ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, in Greece we are 2 hours ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, really just 1. Okay. Thank you so much.
I had birthday yesterday, so I want to calculate. Now I was born at 11 o'clock, but now in UK we have 9 o'clock, so I have
That's interesting. Yeah, what is your real birth time if you want to find out the whole horoscope around it?
I don't know, but I felt 2 hours younger yesterday.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, but that's for someone else. I can't answer it.
So thank you very much. Good night, Leonie.
Good night, and thanks again. See you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So I enjoyed this discussion. Leontien is very amazing woman. Please follow her because she has lots of very cool stuff to share with you. And I'm looking forward to make one more conversation, to whatever it is, because it was I enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this as well. Have a great time. Be safe. Stay at home and live in full excellence. Good night.